I feel very proud to be a Cartagenero and to be devoting a large part of my time here to passing my knowledge on to others. I learn a bit more every day as well. I do this because I'm passionate about my job, my city, and all the love we're putting into it. All the work I do for Cartagena makes me proud, and I hope that in the future my descendants will be proud of what I've accomplished.
Situated on the northern coast of Colombia, lapped by the Caribbean Sea, lies the city of Cartagena, which has been capturing travelers' imaginations for centuries. In this city of over 1 million inhabitants, there is yellow all around. Ever since the 16th century, the city has prospered thanks to its ideal location on the shipping route to the West Indies. Its export of gold and emeralds, among other things, has made it one of the Caribbean's main commercial ports. The city also boasts the most impressive military fortifications in the whole of South America. They were used to ward off attacks from pirates who were drawn to the city's riches. Built in the 18th century by the Spanish, Las Bóvedas is in the historic center of the city. Its 47 arches and 23 vaults form a symmetrical Andalusian-style facade, with each column painted yellow. Mario Zapateiro is a historian. He is working to restore Cartagena's monuments.
Este edificio
This building is called Las Bóvedas de Santa Clara. It was initially designed to house troops and to store military supplies and food. At times, it was also used as a prison and to store building materials for any repairs needed. Today, the function of the building has changed. We've tried to introduce some activity here so that it doesn't remain empty and unused. Currently, these spaces are used to display our country's arts and crafts. It's important to preserve it, to keep the memory alive. It's not enough just to exhibit our heritage. We must preserve it as well. These buildings are at the mercy of the elements coming off the Caribbean. They get a battering from bad weather, strong winds, rain and humidity.
Las lluvias y toda la humedad que viene desde el Caribe.
To help maintain this place, Mario Zapateiro is training these young apprentices in restoration techniques.
Son los que tienen que dar el ejemplo, ¿vieron? Para que esta obra salga.
You must be conscientious. Then the people who see you working will get a good impression. Okay? Right, you're going to scrape off the damaged surface until it's nice and clean, like this. Now you carry on. The same goes for you. Scrape off the damaged part so that the paint sticks better.
Bueno, principalmente lo que se le hace por dos momentos.
We do up this building twice a year. And that involves removing any paint that has got damaged, giving it a thorough cleaning, repairing the walls and any other damaged areas, sanding it, and repainting it.
Se limpia la superficie, se raspa y luego se pinta nuevamente.
This is all to preserve the aesthetic appearance of the building. which is mainly yellow. The building's white moldings make the yellow even more striking.
Y resalta sus molduras en color blanco. Tú aquí les estás
Julio, you're going to paint this bit. Once you've stripped off all the old paint, you're going to repaint it, okay?
I've been at the Escuela Tala for 5 months now. I feel good here. Before coming here, I was often just roaming the streets because I had nothing to do. But I've changed my life and stopped hanging about the streets, doing nothing. Now, I have a plan for a career, and I'm training at the Escuela Tala. I think it's very important. I was born here in Cartagena, and it's very rewarding to be involved in preserving our heritage. I'm proud to be making Cartagena even more beautiful for visitors. It makes me happy to be doing something useful for my city.
Making the city more beautiful means restoring the bright yellow of this building to its former glory. The color comes from a resin which is found in the region's forests.
This building has been yellow ever since it was designed by the military engineer Antonio de Arevalo. It has always been yellow. This color could be seen all over the city of Cartagena, from the 17th century onwards. It's an inorganic color, which no longer comes from natural extracts. Back in the day, the color came from a resin. Today, we use slightly more industrialized pigments to make it easier to work with. We simply mix the resin with lime and water, and then we apply this mixture directly onto the surfaces. I feel very proud to be a Cartagenero and to be devoting a large part of my time here to passing my knowledge on to others. I learn a bit more every day as well. I do this because I'm passionate about my job, my city, and all the love we're putting into it. All the work I do for Cartagena makes me proud, and I hope that in the future my descendants will be proud of what I've accomplished.
With its 8 million inhabitants, Bogotá is the largest and most densely populated city in Colombia. Up until the late 20th century, Bogotá was the scene of a series of bloody civil wars, riots and coups. The color yellow shines out from the Colombian flag as a tribute to one of its most emblematic national treasures, gold. Here, this precious metal has its own museum. Despite the plundering of treasures over the centuries, Colombia still possesses the world's largest collection of gold objects. The most beautiful jewels of pre-Columbian civilization are restored in the museum's workshops. Ana Maria Gonzalez is an anthropologist. She has worked at the Museum of Gold for 7 years.
Are you going to restore that?
Yes, of course. Once we've cleaned it, I'm going to join these two parts together.
How will you do that? Will you solder them?
No, with ceres. That's the nylon fabric you stick on the back of the piece to strengthen it. It's transparent, so you can still see the surface, whilst strengthening the damaged parts, such as those cracks there. There's another one. You'll need to check the edges as well. I'll have to strengthen all of that, because this piece is going to be exhibited and handled. Look, if you hold it up to the light, it's easier to detect the cracks.
Metalwork was developed in Colombia 2,500 years ago. The expertise was handed down from Peruvians living in the Andes, where it was discovered 4,000 years ago. Gold was collected from the riverbeds on the Pacific coast.
Visitors to the museum come here to see the gold, the treasure, but we're also interested in the people behind these pieces. Of course, the people who made these pieces must have made lots of mistakes before managing to make the perfect piece. Let me show you these pieces. They're incredible.
Gold was used by pre-Columbian civilizations as a currency, so it is also a symbol of power. It was mainly carried by the caciques, the chiefs in charge of the city.
Look at this piece. It was worn in the ear. Today, we would call it a plug. It was used to stretch the earlobe. Back in the day, they would attach this other piece through these hoops. The effect was very striking. This piece is a nose ring. It was hung between the nostrils. It makes noise as well. Just imagine the cacique with his earplugs and his nose ring. Listen to the sound it makes. It was worn like this.
Founded in 1938, the museum has about 35,000 gold pieces in its collection, as well as pieces made of tombak, a copper and zinc alloy. The objects come mainly from the Andes, the Caribbean coast, and the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta.
This room is called People and Gold in pre-Hispanic Colombia. It tells the story of the indigenous people who lived in the various regions of Colombia. We already have 54,000 pieces in the collection, 33,000 of which are made of gold. I'm going to show you something that is really linked to the colour yellow for us. Yellow isn't just for gold. What was so precious about the colour yellow for indigenous people was that it was the colour of their god, the biggest and most important of their gods, namely the sun. The sun was the god that gave them life and food. It gave them everything. And yellow, in addition to being linked to the sun and to gold, is also the colour of maize. Maize is a basic foodstuff in America. It is still part of our diet today. So, yellow also symbolises maize. This museum is more than a museum of archaeology. It not only tells us about our pre-Hispanic past, it also shows Colombian and foreign visitors the values and cultural diversity of our country today. The aim of this museum is to highlight these issues, to give people a greater understanding of one another, so that we can achieve our ideal of being able to live together in peace.